You train like a machine, but noise chews your focus. Comparisons, opinions, little fires. In the next minutes, you'll get 12 Stoic lessons champions use to make prep simple under pressure. Number 3 ends the needing to prove yourself loop. The last 2 will surprise you and ease your mind when the routine gets heavy. Picture your prep as a fortress. Only the essential gets through the gate. Epictetus said to control what you let in. If this already helps you breathe easier, subscribe and stay close. We'll stay calm, precise, and ruthless with distractions. So your best physique doesn't depend on chance, but on choices. What matters here is stoicism applied to prep as a whole. When no one's watching, you decide what's in your hands. The bedtime that becomes non-negotiable, the meal you prep when it would be easy to delay, the set executed with honest technique instead of theater, the recovery you protect like a strategic asset. That outweighs any motivational line on show day, because the stage only harvests what you planted by repeating the simple. Philosophy becomes a tool when it fits in your pocket, when it becomes a short question you can use while tired. That's what you'll take from here. Principles that turn into discrete habits. If this start already gave you a centimeter of clarity, drop a like and subscribe. Here you get lean protocols, head-friendly checklists, and plain language without hype. Not for me. For you, for the physique you want to present, and for the mind you need to preserve to arrive there whole. Keep one ruler in your pocket: adherence. It's not perfection, it's presence. It's doing today what you said yesterday matters. Everything that follows speaks to that ruler. And keep a quiet promise handy. The last 2 lessons aren't obvious, but when you practice them early, they lower anxiety and make the rest lighter. You'll understand when we get there. Start with control of the controllable. You decide what gets through your gate: sleep, training, food, logging. The rest only enters if you invite it. Tuesday night, packed gym. Your favorite machine occupied by people filming every rep. The impulse is to jump into the dispute. The choice is to keep the plan. You swap for an equivalent pattern, adjust cadence, protect range, note the RPE. Training goes back to being work, not theater. The pocket question is simple. Is this in my hands right now? If yes, act. If not, release. Marcus Aurelius would remind you that action toward the good is always available. The payoff shows up before the day ends. The next meal arrives without internal debate, because your head didn't waste energy trying to control what you can't. Next comes voluntary discomfort. It's not suffering for vanity. It's choosing micro costs to avoid macro surprises. You stack small discomforts that don't break you. A cardio no one wants to do, cooking when the couch is calling, stretching when the clock screams hurry. It's trying on discipline's tight jeans and discovering that in 10 minutes they give. On Saturday with a tempting invite, you take 10 minutes, portion protein, set water, and go. You come back with a lighter mind because the essential is already handled. A self-protecting question: what small discomfort do I keep postponing that charges me a big bill later? Seneca would suggest training the mind with difficulties before they arrive. You discover motivation is no longer needed for the basics. The basics become hygiene. Now close the door on the trap that steals weeks, the need to prove yourself. Speak less, do more. A 2-word line ends pushy requests without friction. Someone pokes you mid-workout. PR today? You breathe and say calmly, today, technique. No irony, no sermon. You return to the plan like someone easing a door open and finding silence on the other side. The question that swaps hurry for building is direct. Do I want to prove something or build something? Epictetus would say, aim to be, not to seem. The gain isn't just physical, it's emotional. Joints. Thank you, next week exists. Your head finds a rhythm that doesn't depend on an audience. The mind loves to invent surprises. Anticipation saves suffering. Premeditating obstacles means prepping plan Bs that fit real life. The bus is late, the schedule tightens, the gym closes early. Those who've written contingencies execute instead of lament. You've got a compact session saved, portable protein that doesn't need a kitchen, a polite line to reschedule when someone hits your prime hour. Morning. Transport fails. Instead of declaring defeat and carrying guilt tonight, you run the skeleton of the plan and log it. It's not half-hearted, it's intelligence. The question that turns stress into margin: What usually sabotages me, and what's my plan B on paper? Seneca warned that the prepared suffer less when the inevitable happens. You avoid the domino effect that wrecks the weak. Temperance beats intensity. Culture applauds excess. The body charges interest. Your dealt whispers mid-session. The old version would pose, add load, ask for a camera. The Stoic version reduces range, slows the eccentric, corrects the line of motion. It seems less heroic on video. It's far more adult on the calendar. An honest question that saves your future. Is this productive stimulus or vanity? Practical wisdom is using things the right way. The result accumulates. You train tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. The graph rises without drama. 3 months out, you'll see it was the absence of exaggeration that allowed continuous work volume. Data over drama. The mirror lies when the head is shouting. The weekly average tells the story that matters. You track weight, simple measures, RPE, hours of sleep, bodily feel on a short scale, mood in 2 words. You wake up bloated and imagine you lost the thread. You open the log and see the average dropping, sleep improving, strength stable. The day's opinion loses power in front of what's measured. A question that prevents sabotage. What do the data show, not what do I feel? Epictetus would remind us we're disturbed by opinions, not by facts. You hold the plan when it would be easy to tweak it out of anxiety. Discipline stops being torture and becomes decision economy. You decide less, execute more. When you're tired, the mind tells stories. Negative visualization isn't pessimism, it's tactical realism that protects useful routines. You imagine the concrete price of a loose week, chaotic Monday, lukewarm training, road rage, easy choices that charge you later. Let the image touch you just enough to nudge the simple act now. It's late Sunday, laziness smiling. You see the version where you prep nothing and get stuck on Monday. In 20 minutes, you solve 3 meals and close the day with the sense of thread kept. Pocket redirector. If I don't do it, what exactly do I lose? Marcus Aurelius would advise remembering what you lack when the habit drops. Gratitude for the basics reframes the story. You don't have to prep, you get to prep, and that changes the energy of the act. Comparison steals attention. The view from above returns perspective. A stranger's physique pops up. Your thumb slides into infinite scroll. A caption pokes you. You step up one mental stair and ask, does this change what I do now? If the answer's no, the thumb returns to the plan. The algorithm lives off your attention. Your prep lives off your adherence. Another centering question. Am I reacting to someone else's mirror or acting from my axis? Seeing from above puts things back to size. Instead of debating, you train. Instead of proving, you build. And that quiet repetition delivers a confidence that makes no noise. Boundaries build strength. It's not disappearing. It's setting terms and keeping them. You tell people after a certain hour you're offline. Before a certain hour you protect your ritual. You offer alternative windows. You respect others by respecting your commitments. Someone asks for your presence late at night. You reply calmly, propose another time, and move on. You don't become a martyr, you become reliable. The day guarding question: which boundary protects my energy today? The discipline of desire, translated, is to desire what depends on you and organize the rest. The benefit shows up in the morning. Better sleep, better mood, better training. People around you realize predictability is care, not coldness. Speak little, do much. It closes loops without fanfare. Instead of announcing promises, you leave tracks. Honest training log, small plan adjustments, a short line on what you learned. If you post the done, not the wish. If you don't post, the value's the same. It was done. The line that keeps you from wasting energy on pointless stage time is direct. Is what I want to say already done? If not, go do it. Marcus Aurelius would cut the excess. Don't spend time debating what it is to be good, be it. Under the iron, that means discussion gives way to execution. Noise drops, internal respect rises. And that respect pays interest on the next hard day. When the road stalls, the obstacle becomes protocol. Plateau isn't a sentence, It's a diagnosis. 3 weeks without moving a main lift, irritation building, mind asking for shortcuts. Instead of kicking the plan, you open the magnifier: sleep, stress, technique, volume. You choose a minimum intervention for 7 days. Cut volume by 20%. Add a short pause in the hardest phase. Focus on control. No drama, method. Guide question that turns complaint into path. What protocol does this difficulty demand? The impediment advances action, and the right action returns traction. You become the person who solves their own case with composure. Before moving on, give yourself 3 supports that fit any day. Form before load, an alarm to go to sleep instead of relying on an alarm to wake. Hunger as data, not panic. When a day comes in crooked, hitting 3 out of 4 is an adult win. It won't look epic, it'll look stable. And that stability carries months. If this is already organizing your week and removing useless weight from your head, drop a like and subscribe. Keep close. Soon, when we reach the last 2 lessons, you'll see why they tie all the others together without needing a speech. For now, return to today and use the deciding question: does this improve my recovery today? If yes, do it. If not, let it go. You are the guardian of the fortress. The essential gets through, the rest stays outside. You've noticed how, on the most chaotic days, your mind tries to outsource decisions to anything that glitters? Here comes a piece almost no one links to prep, but it changes the board when practiced early. A brief period of productive silence. A window where nothing enters without going through you. It's not isolation, it's mental hygiene. You wake up, your hand reaches for the phone on reflex. You intercept the move and choose 2 minutes of direction. Review yesterday in 3 dry lines. Write today's intention in 1 sentence. Visualize 2 technical points for the session. Just that. The dust settles. The body remembers the path. Later, near sleep, repeat smaller. 1 line on what worked, 1 on what you'll adjust. Gratitude for something ridiculously simple. Access to iron, to water, to the time to prepare food. That quiet thread ties the day's ends and prevents you from waking up hostage to an algorithm that knows nothing about what strengthens you. Pocket line to stop the scroll. What do I gain by opening noise right now? Almost always the answer is nothing. And when the answer is nothing, you return to something. On hard schedule days, that window saves your training. You arrive tired, head buzzing with tasks, tempted to jump straight to load as anesthesia. You pause a minute, reopen the intention you wrote early, replay the first lift's execution with the time under tension you chose. It's like dropping the right needle on the right record. The music plays again. People around you don't know why you suddenly look focused. It's not a secret talent. It's silence before the act. The payoff is concrete. Less anxious warm-up, more first set that actually looks like a first set, and that echoes through the rest. The second non-obvious piece is even more counterintuitive for those raised on, you must be hard on yourself. Austere kindness toward yourself. It's not license for anything. It's high standards with clean language, the opposite of self-humiliation. When you slip, you don't write a soap opera. You name it, adjust, return. You overate in a meal? Don't call it failure. Write, satiety blown, likely reason, stress, adjustment now, protein and fiber next meal, 10-minute walk after, water now. Shame tries to turn a stumble into identity. I'm out of control. You answer with precision. X happened, I'll do Y. That kills useless guilt, which drains energy and pulls you into, since I already messed up. Since I already is the side door weeks sneak out of. Austere kindness closes that door quietly. This posture changes your relationship with training on bad days. You entered out of adult stubbornness, ran an honest plan B, left better than you arrived. Instead of writing awful day, you write thread kept. Soon that line becomes muscle memory. At the next stumble, your head doesn't invoke whatever. It remembers thread kept and looks for the smallest action that keeps the line taut. The accumulated effect is a calm, less flammable confidence that doesn't need epic moments to exist. Notice how the pieces already talk to each other. Productive silence holds your direction when the world squeezes. Austere kindness brings you back when you drift. control of the controllable, voluntary discomfort, the end of proving, premeditation of obstacles, temperance, data, the view from above, boundaries, the preference to do rather than announce, and the habit of turning obstacles into protocols. All of that finds firm ground in these last two. They aren't mental toys, they're emotional infrastructure. Without them, the best plans bounce off. With them, even a mediocre plan becomes a bridge. In daily life, this shows up in nearly invisible moments. An invite lands atop your night ritual. You feel the impulse to accept and sacrifice sleep just today. 30 seconds of silence remind you of the commitment you wrote in the morning. Austere kindness helps you answer without guilt. Today, focus. Tomorrow, between X and Y works. You don't become a monk. You become predictable. People catch on fast. With you, plans stick, because you plan with yourself first. And that kind of internal respect makes you say yes when you mean yes and no when you need to say no, without that trail of resentment that ruins everything. Another scene. A technical plateau irritates you. Instead of, "I'm not cut out for this," you examine without insults. Sleep, volume, execution, and choose a 7-day tweak. In the language of austere kindness, that's equal treatment. Your mistake gets the same clinical eye you give success. No drama, just method. And calm method almost always beats angry intensity. Keep the ruler we chose from the start lit: adherence. It's adherence that turns lines into fiber. At each small decision you ask, does this improve my recovery today? If yes, do it. If not, let it go. When your head tries to bargain time, return to the simple. Form before load, an alarm to go to sleep. Hunger as data. Honest logging. 3 out of 4 remains an adult win on a bad day. This minimalist arithmetic won't look heroic, but it keeps your bridge in the sceneryless stretches. If all this already gave you real margin for the next weeks, subscribe and drop a like. Type 3 words in the comments. I choose precision. Not to please me. For you, to remind yourself tomorrow morning who you're choosing to be. Now, close with a pocket-sized recap and one practical move you can execute today. In short, you swapped vanity for craft. You chose what depends on you. Sleep, training, food, logging. Practiced small discomforts to avoid big collapses. Stopped proving yourself to random audiences. Anticipated obstacles with plan Bs. Chose temperance over injuring intensity. Used data to correct course. Visualized losses to value the simple. Looked from above to avoid being dragged by mirrors. Set boundaries that protect energy. Spoke little and delivered a lot. Turned jams into protocols, and you tied it all with productive silence and austere kindness. That reduces anxiety, cheapens decision-making, and above all, returns self-respect, the raw material of consistency. Your move today is direct. Create 2 anchors of 2 minutes each. 1 upon waking, 1 before sleep. In the morning, 3 lines. 1 fact, 1 adjustment, 1 intention. At night, 2 lines. What worked? The next small gesture. Nothing more. If the day comes crooked, you can still complete it. If it comes straight, you'll complete it better. In both cases, you keep the thread. And when tomorrow looks the same as today, remember, that's what you want. The same isn't stagnation when the same is what builds you. The stage sums what was repeated without an audience. You don't need luck to repeat, you need choices. And choices, trained, become character. That's stoicism in prep. Not a pretty speech, but a way of living that delivers you ready on the day that matters most.